Hello, everybody. Dana Lyons here with the Cows with Guns report, and we are here today on the banks of the Nooksack River in the Cascades, and we're interviewing Oliver and all about Oliver's human, Tim McHugh. Oliver, anything to say for the folks back in YouTube land? Actually, Tim McHugh, in addition to being a musician and novelist, is a dog whisperer. Tim, can you interpret what Oliver just said?
He said, "What the hell are you doing to me right here?"
Our little lap dog.
With a little aside, you think that's funny? He is a lap dog, isn't he?
We are here to talk to Tim about his new book, Ivan. See, Ivan even looks a little bit like Oliver.
Notice how Oliver perked up when you said that?
Finally, we're talking about something interesting. Ivan, a pound dog's view on life, love, and leashes. I love that title. I've read this book. I love it. It's hilarious. It's kind of a story about, Tim's former dog before Oliver, Ivan, and Tim's family, and Ivan philosophizes about life and love and leashes and everything else, and it's hilarious. Tim, tell us a little bit about Ivan, about this book. I knew Ivan from when you got him from the pound, but tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Ivan was a dog that changed our lives, and I'm sure he changed yours as well.
Definitely.
Over the 11 and a half years that we had him. And in a nutshell, Ivan was the dog that nobody wanted in the Humane Society, which is where we found him. He sat in a cage day after day. Excuse me, Oliver's falling asleep in my arms here. Day after day, week after week, and we found him. Actually, I should say Christina found him on a little field trip with some kids she worked with, and told me I have to go see this dog. And so I went down there and saw this puppy that was blind in one eye. He had an underbite. His jaw was crooked. His head was funny. And he had "Take Me Home" written all over his face. and we did. And our lives were never the same.
No, Ivan was a wonderful dog. I remember him coming to greet me every time I showed up. And I just have had a very strong bond with Ivan. I got a strong bond with Oliver too, but Ivan was very special.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, he taught us so much about how to live and how to be in the world, and I think that's really what I take and took from his life. No matter what happened, he went through many surgeries over the course of his life, many trials and tribulations, and nothing ever seemed to get in his way. Nothing ever seemed to really get him down. And he lived life with grace and poise and dignity, and made us laugh every day at his funny-looking face. And like you said, he greeted people when they came over, and I think he was sort of the Will Rogers of the dog world. He never met a person he didn't like, or love for that matter. And so, anyway, so that was more or less the legacy that I tried to capture in his book. One paw in front of the other, right, Oliver? And you just take each moment, each day as it comes.
And any particular stories about Ivan, or poignant moments, or how he affected you that you want to share?
I'm sure. Well, one moment in particular that I think was more or less the defining moment, and I want to tell you that over the course of his life, and the book really goes into this, is that he had many comic adventures and many run-ins with animal control and dogs in the off-leash park. And while he was processing the works of Emerson, Tolstoy, and Thoreau, and he found dogs marking on his territory, he shunned the principles of nonviolence sometimes, and let his presence be known. But in spite of that, no, Ivan really was the optimist. He was a dog that just lived day to day and moment to moment, and no matter what his physical condition, he really set an example for us. The defining moment in his life, really, for me, was late in his time on Earth with us. He had lost he had lost his ability to use his rear leg, and we were slinging him around the field. We'd take him on walks with his two good front legs, and I just have this memory on this walk with him. We took him outside, and he was just as he always was, just head down in the shrubs, smelling the scents left by critters the night before. He seemed to just breathe in the beauty of life. He seemed tranquil and in love with life in that state as much as he was when he was a pup. And in that moment when we were, slinging him around, and I kind of became aware of his awareness of the world around him, I thought, wow, that's how I hope to be someday if I'm ever being slung around with no legs.
Hey, we never know what life holds for us.
We never know, it's true.
Gotta enjoy every moment.
Exactly.
Now Tim, this book is in the stores now, I believe you said, in both the United States and Canada. And tell us a little bit about the publisher.
Turner Publishing, they're one of the fastest growing independent publishers in the country. Mm-hmm. And they fell in love with the book and Ivan as well, which I guess, are more or less the stories inseparable from the character. But they were so inspired by it that they wanted to use this book as a fundraiser to not just provide people with hopefully a great read, but also a way of supporting animal rescue organizations that are struggling to raise money. And so a portion of the proceeds from the sale of each book goes to animal rescue organizations that are working with them, that choose to partner with them and help promote the book. So it becomes a win-win situation for everybody.
No, that's awesome. And I know you and Christina have adopted many animals over the years, but just share with the audience why it's a wonderful thing to adopt animals from the shelter.
Well, to my understanding, there are over 2 million dogs, and I'm sure many more cats, euthanized every year for lack of homes. And I mean, that is incredibly tragic and incredibly sad. And anybody that's ever gone to a shelter or to the Humane Society of any sort can attest to that. You want to bring every animal home with you. These animals, like all animals that bond with people, make incredible companions. I don't want to say pets because they're more than pets. And when I think of a pet, I think of something an animal that you pet on the head, which I outgrew that when I was a young child. I think of it when I think of an animal, a rescue animal, I think of a lifelong companion. And when you do that animal a favor and give them the gift of a second chance in life, you will be repaid countless times over. It'll change your life, as Ivan and Oliver have changed ours, and the other animals that have crossed our paths over the years. So I would just urge everybody to, if you're thinking about a companion, a non-human companion, to go to your local animal shelter, Humane Society, or whatnot, and talk to some volunteers there. And remember that people usually in these places are working on shoestring budgets, and they're volunteers, and they're the people that really hold this sort of invisible society together in this part of the world that we want to help save. So
excellent, thank you. And now, in addition to being a novelist, I think this is your third novel, Ivan, one of which is in print, and then another one that's hopefully will be in print someday. You're an amazing musician. We've sung on each other's albums, and I'm a huge fan of your music. And I think you're going to sing One More Sunset for us next. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm sure One More Sunset was inspired right around the time I met you back in 1985. And it could have been from one of our, many inspiring and memorable hikes in the Olympic or North Cascades backcountry. And I don't remember the specific time, the event that spurred the song, but the song really speaks to, I guess, my love of this and all that surrounds us, this priceless earth, this priceless beauty, this incomprehensible wonder and magic that we're in the presence of every day. And One More Sunset came to me and it's sort of been a motif throughout my life, because no matter where I am and how I'm feeling, if I'm not thinking about Ivan or Christina or Oliver or you or people that really matter to me, I'm dwelling on the beauty that sustains me, and One More Sunset is something that I try to relish every day, especially in the rainy Northwest where we don't really get to see quite as many, although there's a beautiful one happening now.
It's not raining today, but this is one of our 6 sunny days a year in the Pacific Northwest.
And it's particularly relevant too, being next to the Nooksack River that comes off of Mount Baker and Mount Shuckson and drains this beautiful part of the world here. Because one of the lines in it is one more river and I'll follow it today, and that again, that speaks to I think a lifelong dream that I've had since I was a young child, of following a river from the ocean to its source in the mountains. And I've never done that. Maybe I will someday, but I have hiked many valleys with you, and we've gone to the source, but we've never started at one end completely and gone to the other. So anyway,
maybe next summer.
Let's do it.
Tim, there are obviously this Ivan is in stores in U.S. and Canada, and for people in the rest of the world, where can they find this book?
They can also find it on Amazon.com, and Amazon has stores and online retailers in every country that I can think of, so you can buy it.
And you have a blog and a website?
Yes, and you can find also more information, and if you're interested in becoming Ivan's friend on Facebook,
how can you not be Ivan's friend on Facebook?
Exactly. When you see the picture that's staring at you when you go to his Facebook page, your hand automatically goes to the mouse, and you're clicking like before you even know it. And you wish you could click love, but it's just like. So yeah, it's foreverivan.com is the link to his website, and that has links to Facebook and other.
Right on.
And YouTube, there's a funny video of him floating around, a music video that we made last summer that you were a part of, which was.
I got my beautiful harmony on there.
Yeah. So yeah.
Right on. Thanks, Tim. We'll get to this One More Sunset song right away, but Ivan, a pound dog's view on life, love, and leashes. It's a beautiful book. It's hilarious. Great for the whole family. I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dana.
This is so cool. All right, we'll set up for the song.
Okay, great. By a dream, you're never really certain why we're crying when we live beyond our means. But we'll be free if the only thing to lose is money and its hold on you and me. And I'll take one more sunset to help me light my way. One more river and I'll follow it today. One more mountain or an ocean full of you. One more rainbow and I think I'll see it through. The day